Hey guys, Dr. Christy Ennis. Today's video is for you if you've got this nasty heel pain that you're having difficulty getting to go away. So I'm going to show you how to get it to feel better fast and to keep it going. Okay, we are starting with this one first because it's going to help get rid of that pain or at least significantly reduce it really quickly within a few minutes. So good one to always start with. So really what we're trying to do here is get this fascia, and fascia lies over our muscles. It kind of sticks on top when things get tight. We want that to glide. So the plantar fascia, right? That's a big collection of fascia. So we're taking this and we're gliding it along, and you'll feel if it's tight, it's bumpy and yucky and blah. So I'm using the Derma Edge right now, which is something I've created, and I will link for you guys. I will show you with a butter knife too, but it's just not nearly as comfortable. So once you do this for a little bit and you're like, oh, hey, that doesn't feel quite as bumpy. Maybe you can move that foot around a little bit more. You do want to make sure you get right up into the calf too. Now, the fascia here is where it's hurting, right? But this calf muscle and these calf muscles have fascia as well, and they're coming right down into the Achilles and then going into that same heel. So typically when there's a problem down in the foot, there's also a problem up in the calf. So we're trying to get blood flow going there and to get things gliding and moving better. So do this first. Again, usually only takes a minute or two, and then go ahead and stand and move around and see how it feels. Okay, if you've got a butter knife at home, please don't use the serrated edge, use that flat edge. And you're gonna do the same thing. I do find that this is a little bit more uncomfortable because it's a little sharper, but it's the same concept. Next one's on the ground or on your bed. You're gonna grab that leg behind the thigh just to start to help bring it up towards you. You're gonna straighten out that leg. So now we're actually getting the hamstring, the calf, and the foot a little bit. I'm gonna bring that leg across because now we're gonna stretch into the hip. And when the hip is tight, it makes our foot roll in a little bit more, which puts more pressure on that fascia, okay? So this is your starting position. And then from here, I'm gonna work on, and I'm not very good at it, but I'm gonna spread my toes. I'm gonna point my foot down and curl my toes, and then lift up and spread. So we've got the hip, the calf, and now we're getting some mobility work into that plantar fascia too. So things are starting to glide and move a little bit better as we're moving along here. And you want to shoot for about 5 or 6 of these. Next one is on the hands and knees. Again, on a mat or on your bed is totally good too. This is a little bit more of an aggressive or deeper stretch into that plantar fascia. So I'm going to tuck my toes underneath, and as I do this, I'm gonna sit it back. So you're gonna feel a stretch in your toe, but you're really getting the whole length of that fascia when you do this. So I typically, when I'm doing this, start out with a few rocks back and forth, about 5 or so. And then once I've gotten a little bit more mobility, which you'll also have with some of those other exercises, you're gonna go ahead and hold it. You can let yourself sink back as much as you can. Again, of course, without pain. For me, this is about it. And once you're there, you can hold for about 3 to 5 breaths. This next one starts to address strength, which is also part of the issue for us. So you're going to take a towel and you're going to roll it up. And this is actually what you're going to stand on. You're going to step right on that rolled up towel. This helps to extend those toes, so we're going to get the calf muscles, but really also get into that plantar fascia. Hanging on to keep steady if need be. You're going to come right up on those toes, and the key thing here is slowly lowering those heels back down. The slow lowering is important because that actually works on the lengthening part of the muscle, which tends to be where we are weaker, and it also helps to lengthen out the tendon, so you're getting 2 really good things going on there. So you start with those 2 feet, especially if you're a little bit sore. When you can, you go ahead and take away 1 foot, and then it's same idea, though, really slowly lowering back down. And you want to shoot for about 15. Start out with 1 set and work up to 3 sets. Okay, keep something sturdy to hang on to. This last one is going to work through not just the calf, but the hamstring and the hip too. So just like when the hip is tight, it can affect the foot. When it's weak, it can also cause it to roll too. So I'm gonna stand on this right leg and I'm gonna push my hips right back. So this alone is gonna start working this right leg through the back of that whole right leg. I've got this opposite knee bent, and I'm going to bring it out into a fire hydrant. Just think dog peeing on a fire hydrant, right? That's why it's called that. So I'm working the leg that I'm standing on, and I'm also working this leg that's up in the air. Now pay attention as you do this that you don't open your body up, and that this hip is pointed right down to the floor. So I usually tell people press that hip right down towards the floor. So working on the outside of the hip on this one, and about 10 to 15 on each side.